Also, you can see that the colors start to spread and it's going to each other. So whatever you do is, it's need a little time to see what is it exactly, because it's changing, because the wet surface will make the watercolor flowy, and that will cause changes, so it won't stay exactly as you put it down, which is totally okay. At that point I still putting down the big things, so not really looking details, just try to have a really good outline, color outline, let's say this way, like a color outline of the whole painting. On places where things are usually sharp, like face and ear, uh, if it's flowing too much, it's okay to dry up, and with a clean paper towel, and just when you dry it up, you redraw it, or you even wait and redraw it. You don't want too much flow there. So if it's too wet, either do what I am doing or just wait. Any error, don't worry. At that point, it's easy to wipe back anything. So everything can be changed at this point, so you don't need to be stressed too much around it. See, I'm making the leg thinner and changing the position of it a little bit more backwards. Another way to go, don't draw the leg yet and part which are more smaller and not very furry. More it has more sharp edge, like the legs or the ear or the face, because you can add later when a paper is still wet, but not as flowy at, like as it is this point. If something flowing too much and you really don't want it, just wipe it off, like I did things on a face blooming out. And you can change the big shapes too with a big brush, clean clean water, clean brush. I already changed my water, as you can see. Water changing is very important. Keep 2-3 dishes next to you, and when you have only one left clean, just stand up and bring a new one. Or if you're lucky and you have a huge space, put even 6 next to you. It will need it. So I'm trying to keep the leg content not to flowing away. You wipe more in an area, it gets drier and drier in each round usually, and it stay more, so the paint stay more in place. But honestly, really, you can just not working on it for a while and wait and just add it a little bit later, that's also a way to go. I'm just showing my process, and sometimes I do this way, sometimes on the other way. You see, I'm still working with a huge brush and very loose, very loose. So you can see there is a highlight on I think it's the back leg behind the left front paw, which I try to put there. If you add with the very wet brush, just add water, it will wash back the color a little bit. So now I'm doing with a smaller brush around the ear, which I stopped for a while because it was too wet, but now you see it stays much more. So I just added those missing part on back of a head and a ear. And with the clean paper towel, you can add good highlights or modify edge, like I'm doing again with the leg, which is still probably flowing too much. I'm adding the highlight with the paper towel. See, I switched water again. It was just too dirty. It's really hard to work when your water is dirty. It's just not working. I don't like it. So I'm just always comparing the photo to my current state and try to change what looks the more urgent to interfere with. As you can see, everything is still very wet. And it's good to keep things wet for a while. Still just adding pigment. Watercolor tend to get lighter after drying, so it's look less pigmented than wet. Especially with the black cat, yeah, it's good to add dense pigment, like opposite to the color. When you paint with colors, it's more can look muddy if it's too thick. Here, yeah, the black paint is good if it's look rich, I think, and not look just very transparent or light. At least in this style, what I'm doing now, I think it's good. So it's always good to add just denser pigment, not like tempera or stuff, no, but still very colored, very dense. If you make some dark spots what you don't want, eliminate as fresh as possible with a very clean brush. You loosen it up with clean water and then just wipe it off. Later, when it's dry, it's almost impossible. So if you have something like that, I just had one, it's good to remove immediately. So I switched to small brush, start to add some details on the face. It's not leaking as much anymore. So now you can see the whole cat is there pretty much. So probably it's we switched to the details time. So adding some of the lighter area with washing a little bit back the dark black, and also I'm adding some shadow because you don't want your cat just look like a silhouette or hanging in a white space. And of course at this case just go with the photo where the shadow on the photo, because the whole cat getting a light from a given source and that's visible on the whole body. So I just always trust the shadow direction on the photo, and that's what I'm putting. When you do details, you can also use the tip of your big brush. It's not necessary to go with a small one. So when you found some big area wrong, that's what you can do. Big brush, clean water. This is why I always keep one extra completely clean water. When you really need fast, you need it. So I removing from that bag because it's just too big. So also this is the opportunity to bring back the wetness into your paper. So you can bring with the big brush water all the way to the edge. So re-wet the already drying paper.